Enix. Thank you guys for another day to hang out with you and give you the good news. So it's Friday. Fridays are generally Q&A. And after, well, let's get a little information. Yeah, let's slow this down a little bit. Hey, over there on Facebook, how you guys doing? Hop on in and let's do some wins. Let's travel through the week and let's share what we didn't get a chance to share in the win department. I'll share a win. I was triple booked this morning. I had 2 appointments at 10 and one at 10:15. And I thought about it for the last 24 hours, how I had these 3 appointments at the same time today. I had an in-home shopper. I had an interview online. I thought it was supposed to be a Zoom interview online, but ended up being a phone call. And then the little one had a doctor's appointment across town. I am so glad I work from home because it all worked out. The in-home shopper showed up early. Great. We're always ready. We were able to get out there and get the appointment with just enough time. And just after that, the Zoom call turned into a phone call for the interview. Things work itself out. My number one factor was I didn't want to disappoint that client. Anyone else? Share a win.
I have, I think, a business partner signing up tonight and one tomorrow.
Excellent.
At the $20 level.
Ooh,
now, the one girl has been telling me for 5 years she's going to join my team. Okay, so I message her and say, hey, you can join for $20 this month. So we're supposed to schedule a call tonight, but different time zone. We're 3 hours difference. I'm 3 times ahead of California. So, and then the other one I'm meeting tomorrow after football and after a church event.
Tell me how great this $20 permit, this party permit is.
It's the ball.
I cannot think of enough ways to get that information out.
I've been posting on my all morning. I've been doing pictures. I bought some little like wine or little like glasses and stuff, and they say Merry Christmas on them. And I bought a little thing. I've been taking pictures and snapping them and putting them on my website.
Yeah, I gave it to my in-home shopper today, and she was like, how many days do I have? I said, you have all month.
Yep. So I'm going to reach out to a few more people today.
Conversation is business and business is conversation. The more conversations we have, the more that $20 party permit will take its momentum effect. Remember the conversation on yesterday, team. The momentum. This $20 has created its own buzz and momentum. I can't turn a page without seeing something that I can duplicate. Yes, let's get into it. So I was going to start by saying that Fridays are generally Q&A days, and Eric had just jumped into the Q&A answer maybe about 10 minutes, a little less than that before we actually get off. But one of the great things about being on his platform is you get the stories. He told us that just a short while ago, how we may be talking giving a lot of information or selling or giving facts, but we're not telling good stories. Eric gives some great stories on his platform. That's why he prepares it and presents it so well. So one of the great parts about being part of that platform is you get that story, that true story, his experience, and the format that he puts it in. So as he does when he really gets started, he gives us a story. And he gave us his story on how he wasn't doing very well in his early years. And he went to a company and they went bust, and he went into something else, and then they were kind of on shaky grounds, and then he found this other business and he had to make a character. It was a great story, which leads me into the lesson. We have to first give the story, a good story. And how we do that is we practice. I practice with you guys. When I come in close, when I try to control that voice tone, because it is the highs and lows, the pitches in some of those stories that help grab people. I know it does to me in those drama suspenseful stories. It draws you in, the pauses and things like that. So it's constant practice with your story or someone else's story. Remember, team, or story that you've heard, or a story that someone can relate to, those kind of stories. First giving them the story, and then we have to plant the seed. He went more into having business that may be going through some turmoil, some seeds. It's funny he mentioned this because not long ago I stumbled onto a group. I don't even know if I want to repeat. I'll use it loosely for respect of the Frank Divas platform. I ran into a group and they weren't happy with a lot of the policy and procedures that paparazzi offers. We had someone recently that just stepped down, just personal reasons. I'm sure it's never one answer, it's never one reason. But one of the factors is a lot of policies and procedures. Mama Frank admitted to us not long ago that they've given her some HE double hockey sticks through the years. But she sticks and stays. So that's more or less what Eric was talking about today. When you experience that turmoil in your business, or things look like they're getting messy, or you're really not sure how this policy applies to you, but you've been violated and you want to refute and you have a grievance. When you have those things exchanging through the support system like that, he was just encouraging us. This is a season where we really can gain momentum on things. Or even, I'm going to revert back to the group that I found, and they weren't happy. So they created a whole culture behind it. I mean, there were people, this was off of YouTube, and there were a double-digit people showing up, giving comments while this one person went through things they didn't like about a company. I'm like, what? How do people come up with this is what I was thinking. But I sat there and entertained it and listened to some of the things. And some of the things were just the excuses and the fears that we come up in our own mind. It has nothing to do with our company, has nothing to do with our upline, our business partner, why our own business isn't thriving. It is how we use our momentum. He basically was saying he was checking in on us on this Friday to see where our growth level is in the leadership. We have to pay attention to that. What tools are we using, implementing, because action is doing the thing. I'll use quotes because he said doing the thing. It is actually doing the things, using the tools, implementing, recording those results and seeing if they work. Are we doing that, and where are we in our growth level? So I do believe that this would interchange a lot in how we are in our character, our personality, how we handle business. Because there's always a professional way to handle things, and there's always an off-centered, off-colored, messy way to handle things. But I think as we follow in our leadership growth, it gives us a more professional way to handle things across the board, not downline, and even when we're interacting with our upline. Oh, I can imagine those who have conflict with their upline, who want to come from up under them. We all know that these things happen within the business. Thankfully, you guys know, but we know that those turmoils happen in those relationships in our business. And it was more about character. How are you going to perform, conduct, move as a leader and have good character? Whether it's in the business, the product, the character of it all is the important, is what I got out of it today, because I really hung on to the story that his story that I've heard a couple of times, but I always hear a little bit more every time he tells it. I hear a little bit more. And this time I heard where he had to make a character decision. Do I stay with this company that I know is doing some under the table kind of bogus type things that I know for sure? Do I leave them, or do I continue to keep making the millions that I've been making while I'm with this company, knowing that I'm going to lose everything that I've gained and accomplished once I leave this company? So your moral values come into some of those decision making, but as leaders, we need to build on that. Have a solid ground and carry it, duplicate that. You know, I don't want us to get confused with, I see someone doing something wrong, so I'm going to tell on them. I don't want you to confuse that with, I know that my teammates or my whomever it may be doing something in their business that may not be compliance appropriate. This is not a compliance platform, team. Let me put that as a disclaimer. But we do notice certain things, just like the simple things. You don't see the photo. That's a compliance issue. Just small things like that. Character, the leadership tools. Team, where are you with the action? The thing. So, questions, comments. His stories actually took up a lot of the platform, but the notes that I put in, what happens when your business is thriving and then it slows down? What do you do? One, have to have the product. You have to have a sample of the product. We say that. Where are your jewels? I'm actually wearing a gift today. But where are your jewels? Have a sample of your product. And he was explaining how one of his business was going south, was in a messy period, and they were delayed in stock. It took 100 days for anyone to get stock. Team, we're coming up on holidays. You know how we're starting to filter the information. Shipping may be delayed. Get those orders in timely so you can get them before your holidays. We're moving into that season. So what are you going to do? Is what he's asking. Are you going to let your customers know? Holiday season hours, we may be delayed from a 2 to 3 day shipping to a 3 to 5. What are you going to do as a leader? Those are the action steps. And those are the things we should be thinking about when we're moving along. Promoting. Oh, can't forget that. Promotion. We're in it. This training was for us, team. This $20 party permit. Ooh, that promotion is blowing the internet up. I'm sure there's still some that haven't seen it. So be sure to reach out to them. Hey, there are still those that have not seen it, but I'm pretty sure it is a buzz. Let's use this momentum into our holidays. Ooh, this information is so fulfilling. See how the puzzles connect and are filling in together, giving us a great canvas. Questions, concerns. Now I have to search. Okay, I see the time. We have a little time. Questions, concerns. He went into the Q&A. I'd love for you guys to give some Q&A. Think about leadership when challenged with ethical and moral decisions. Compromised character. We had a discussion in my power hour a day or two ago about subliminal messages. One of my business partners pointed out that they've seen a lot of subliminal messages within the company. And I think a lot of that is we are compromising our character at some point by addressing some things not subliminally and not addressing it. I was taught that in my past career. Address things head on to diffuse them, because you don't, they escalate, they get bigger, and they eventually turn into this uncontrollable fire. So address them immediately. And that may be going on in a lot of places. So just think about the character of it all, the platform, the leadership character that we're presenting. I would love to tell you guys about the whole jail situation, or what we think was a jail situation from his story, but that was kind of long, and I know he can ramble in his story sometimes. But yeah, he mentioned he was with the company, and when you do Ponzi schemes, yeah, there's a possibility you can go to prison. That is a federal crime. But yeah, he said he had some experience along that line in his previous companies. Ooh, he gave us some great story about character. Yeah, the morale in the business. I can recall being in some positions in my previous career. Ooh, compromising, but stand firm on your character. Questions. Oh, you have to change the narrative of bad misconceptions. And that's what I took away from when I found that group of people who had problems with the policies and procedures. I took that group as, oh, these are just bad misconceptions. They probably haven't found themselves or, found that inner growth yet, because that's a process in your business too. They probably haven't found that growth yet to understand it has everything to do with what we do within our business that makes it flourishes, stand still, or stagnate. We have to be responsible for that. Lizzie, you were there. Please chime in. I should have tag teamed you a long time ago. I forget that we do have these assigned days, but a couple of us are there on the platform. So what'd you get out of it today?
I think you touched on it perfectly. I think the biggest takeaway I had was just be a good person in your business. Be honest in your business. That is what's going to draw people to your team. That's what's going to draw customers to your life. If you're just authentic and honest and trustworthy and all the characteristics that Tanya just touched on, that is why you're going to succeed, especially in paparazzi. So. I think that was the biggest takeaway today for me, at least.
Character. Do right by people. Yeah. Comes back. And I made a post not too long ago saying that you can do everything. No, I think I heard this on one of Eric's trainings. You can do everything right and still get a bad outcome. Don't beat yourself up for that. Okay? Because morally, we can do everything right, but it still gets a bad outcome. And we can say the same for that in some of the lines of our business. We try to bring those prospects up along with us and keep that momentum with and keep that fire burning and do everything we can do, Janet. But the fire still fizzles. Don't beat yourself up for that. So calling out names. Thanks for joining us, Daria. Thanks for joining us, Suzanne. Thanks, Camille. Thank you all. Happy Friday. If there's nothing else for this great platform that we have presented for us, all laid out.
I knew you was talking to me, girlfriend. I felt it. I'm like,
no. You know what? I saw everyone on the platform and I'm thinking in my own mind, I'm not doing enough. And I just so happen I can recall that. That's one of the things I remember from you. You give.
That's the one thing I struggle with.
I heard it.
One thing that I struggle with, and try not to get in my head about it, but you do all the right things, or at least you feel like you're doing all the right things, and you care so much and you have so much passion. And it's just frustrating when you can't understand why everybody else doesn't have the passion. It's like, why are we even doing this? But yeah, just
it's like
keep
a bad
on,
relationship.
keep on. Just do you, but do you be true, like be loving, be honest.
Yes.
And yeah, the rest will just be what it will be. Yeah. And there'll be new people coming. There'll be old people.
Remember, team, business conversation. Eric he's getting more bolder now. He said, I bet none of you are having more conversations than me. almost feel threatened. But it's true. He's running a multi-million-dollar industry, and the conversation has to be off the chain. I'm not having enough conversations with my $20 that per party permit. That's why I keep getting, I don't have $20. I'm not having enough conversations to be getting those messages, okay? So let's hit it, team. Let's get these Friday releases, and you guys stay vibrant over the weekend. Let's stay in the momentum. See you later, Facebook.
Have a good weekend, everyone.